Hi guys, welcome back to SCL5 for the third match. Here today we've got Executive Otters versus something else. And on the Executive Otters team we've got a very quick, very rushy setup. It's double Sleipnir, triple Vagabond, something we've never really seen before, those triple Vaggers. And then a few Frigs thrown in there as well, so we're going to have a few dams to use. And those Vaggers now, with the local rep bonuses, it's going to be a very interesting match.
Yeah, definitely so. And for the Something Else team, we have a little bit more standard, but kind of out of the box as well. Tech 1 cruiser setup. So it's a Neros and Eos supported by 3 Ruptures, 3 Vexers, a Thorax, and an Inyo. And surprisingly enough, both teams look like they're right on top of the button. Questionable call from the EXE team to bring the Vagas so close, but maybe they have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, the match will be starting very shortly, but especially with Vagabonds and Sleipnir's very quick ships pushed in short range. Why you bring them so close at the start when they're so maneuverable? Can't really say, as the match is just starting to get underway.
Oh, and here we go. So it looks like Jaon 43 and a Rupture is going to be primary for the EXE team. And I don't know if that Oneros with the damps on him is close enough to get reps, and it doesn't look like he's going to be, as well as Valkyrs and Vagabond taking damage.
Yeah, so that Oneros is having to burn into this. Very close to getting damage ranges as well, so we might see him drop straight off. As that Rupture is smoking the tank, and the Vagabond's taking a lot of damage, but he has got an ASB on there, so he is tanking himself. I think we're going to see a lot of rapid traces in almost half his shield in the side, so he's not going to keep this up very long, but while he's keeping up, they are doing a lot of damage despite that logistics ship.
Yeah, if they trade 1 cruiser or 2 cruisers for every Vaga that goes down, by the end of this you'll have 2 Sleps with a massive tank and not enough DPS left on the field to take the Sleps down. And another Rupture goes down, and that's a trade for the Vaga. So that's 2 Tech 1 cruisers and 1 trade for a Vaga. It looks like the Kitsune's getting caught out alone and going to be dropped down, but I don't know how effectual he is to the brawl that's really going on right here. And we're starting to see damage come onto the Oneros as well.
Yeah, but we are seeing jams like Kitsune Manure, so it could be he's just managed to get through the cycle just enough to make those Ruptures go quickly, which is dropping the damage off. And every time they kill a ship, every time they drop the damage off, it's really going to help with the local rep boosting those ships. The Vagger now, he's not going to hold for much longer, but he is holding long enough still. And more damage into that Neros.
Yeah, they're definitely getting a lot of damage on the Oneros. I'm surprised he didn't follow us on be taking full damage. I don't know if the Sleps don't look like they're tackled down too terribly bad. Like, you get out there, I see some TD effects going on one of the Sleipnir, so maybe he's having a little bit of trouble hitting there. But it looks like Calidus and that Vagabond is just repping it back hard and repping it back.
Yeah, and as long as he can, both that nose goes down, if he goes and trades for that Vagger, which it looks like he probably will, I don't think there's going to be a great trade. Neros is bleeding into the structure. He's really not going to last much longer.
Definitely not. It looks like that Vagabond goes down. We'll see if he trades for the Neros here pretty quick, which I expect he does. And then what do we have left on the field? We got 3 Vexers, a Thorax, and a Rupture that are going to be trying to apply as much damage as they can to that last Vaga to try and get all 3 Vagas off. But if they can get down 1 more Tech 1 cruiser, maybe 2 more Tech 1 cruisers, I think the Sleeps will easily hold against the DPS.
Down, so that Vagger, though he's starting to take damage, it's going to get easier. The Ruptures are going to drop very quickly as well. They are not tanky ships against Sleipnir, especially against Vagabonds. They're going to run down to the high special as well. I really think that these Sleps especially are going to put it off. I think we'll see the Vagger drop, but I think the Sleps are just going to be too much damage, too much tank. And the Vagger is still surviving as a Rupture, is just dropping down.
Yeah, absolutely. That Rupture is going to be going down pretty quick, which is 1 more Tech 1 cruiser out the field and less damage being applied every time. And you can't negate the fact that projectile damage, they can switch to the appropriate ammo here. They can apply a lot of damage.
Yeah, we're using fusion here for the explosives on the unbonused holes here. And we have lost that Vagger now, I believe. But it's just not enough. The Vexer is dropping pretty quickly. The Sleipnir though, Shockfist Sleipnir is taking a lot of damage, but he's tanking just fine for now.
Yeah, and he'll be tanking for quite a while. I would expect to see at least 2 more cruiser trades for 1 Sleipnir here. The Vexer is starting to get some damage applied to him. He'll be taking pretty heavy damage here pretty soon, going down before too long, I would assume. It looks like Amalis is starting to take a little bit of damage as well, and he's anti-repping up his shields, which is not in the main part of the fight, but a little bit of squabbling going on the outside edge.
Yeah, interesting to see these Vexers are still sat around us on the central beacons, despite the fact they're going to be using drones for damage. They're more mobile, they don't have to be close for targets, they are sitting in close to Sleipnir, which is a very bad idea. Although Shockfist now is starting to struggle with his tank. Like, he's down below half shield, he's going to be having to struggle. about ASB. If he starts to go into reload cycle now, he will drop.
Yeah, I mean, there is the possibility of him trying to burn away right now. I don't see. Oh no, he is completely tackled, so he's not going to be able to burn out right now. I see electron blasters on those vexors, so maybe their hope is if we stay close and we just pour on as much DPS, we have the possibility to break the Sleipnirs fast enough because of the numbers of ships. But really, at this point, 3 Tech 1 cruisers trying to take down 2 command ships is going to be a tough struggle.
True, but that is still that EOS there. If he's blaster fit as well, he's going to have quite a lot of damage on him, plus all the drones on him, so that Sleipnir is really, really struggling, and they're just not killing those cruisers fast enough, which, as you say, if blasters on, that's a lot of damage still on those cruisers. And Sleipnir's bleeding into structure.
Yeah, he's going to be going down here pretty quick, and that's going to get him back in the match. Having one of those sleps down, that's going to have their half their DPS of what's really being applied right now. And that EOS is also running electron blaster, so he's heavy tank. He's going to take forever to drop down, and that Vexor just will not die.
Yeah, I've got to say, I am surprised how long it's taken these 2 Sleipnirs to kill stuff, and it's just been too long, which leaves 1 Sleipnir left now. He's going to be so tackled that he's going to have trouble actually keeping damage on a single ship. So we're seeing Ducat is almost able to burn away. He's just into structure now, but he might actually survive if he can get away from that last Sleipnir. As a Sleipnir is struggling to tank, so even though he's still ASBing, he's dropping into low ship.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like there's going to be 1 Sleipnir left over there to try and finish off 2 Tech 1 cruisers and an EOS. And really, he's supported by just 2 Maulus and a Merlin. They're not going to be doing a whole lot as far as stopping damage from incoming or applying damage themselves. So it's really just a tank battle at this point for that Sleipnir.
Yeah, previously Sleipnir is by far the strongest command ship, but now I don't actually know which would win Sleipnir versus EOS. EOS is having a much better tank now, a lot more damage, and generally being a much better ship than they used to be for this sort of combat. It might even be enough to stand up for Sleipnir by itself, so with those cruisers just not dying, I think that Slep's going to drop very soon, and he's bleeding into armor, so he's either into reload or he just can't keep up.
Yeah, he's going to be going down pretty quickly for sure, and then I think that'll spell the end of the match right there. As soon as he's down, that's pretty much their last hope. Yeah, those Sleipnirs, I mean, incredibly effective at being able to burn around on grid really quickly, and if they could have spread that blaster team out so that they weren't dealing with all of that heavy blaster damage constantly, then they might have had a better opportunity. But coming to the button at 0 and expecting a brawl fight with a heavy Galente force, blasters are king.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup. It's very mobile, so why choose it to bring it so close? Don't know. There's a lot of local tank again, but risky. Maybe they're expecting like a paladin, something like that, and those ships will be able to tank a single paladin quite easily and then move around. But again, there's just no reason to come in at 0. Ships that are so quick like that. An Executive Otters now down to their last 2 frigates against an EOS and 2 cruisers and an Enyo, so they're not going to last much longer. Those frigates will either be dropping down or burning out of the arena pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely going to be a win here for something else, which I'm not completely surprised about. I expected Vagus sitting at 0 on the button, dealing with them heavy blasters. Drone setup would not end well for them, but they did better than I thought they would do. At the very beginning of the match, I was really surprised about how well they were handling the Tech 1 cruisers, melting right through them, not having any problem. But really, I started to see things slide away when that Kitsune went down, and I think that was probably, even though that Oniris wasn't on grid too much longer after that, he got those reps on and topped those cruisers off.
Yeah, that's the problem with having that Oniris there. Going for him, they took a long time trying to kill him, and in that time, it cost them damage. But at the same time, if they hadn't gone for him towards the end of the match, they wouldn't be able to break reps as well, so tricky choice they had to make there, but they just couldn't drop him quick enough, and I think that really cost them too.
Yeah, it's always a gamble you run into when you don't bring any logistics on your part, is what is the opportune time to take out the logistics. I mean, you really have to jump on it as early as you can, because the longer that logistics is on the grid, the farther and farther you slip behind in your tank ability in a long fight. So any chance you get to grab a hold of them, you really have to tank it, and that can put you in a position where you can't apply good DPS to a follow-up target, which looks like what happened in that case.
Yeah, it's true. We have seen it before. Teams desperately chasing logistics, and the longer he holds on, he's losing more and more damage. So they get it down, but the trade just isn't worth it. Especially where there we've got so much local tank. If they're able to keep those ships up, burn enough damage down through it, it might be enough. But especially with something like EOS there, with so many high DPS ships, which is the advantage of the Tech 1 cruisers. Blasters on those Vexors, Ruptures, and the 4-axis, there's all a lot of damage. So even though they took a few of them out quickly, there's still a ton of damage left on that team.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what I would take. I don't know if I would prefer, you know, 3 Navy Burdicks over, you know, having six Tech 1 cruisers with blasters. I'd have to say six Tech 1 cruisers with blasters if you're going to make the choice. I mean, it's so much applied DPS, and it can be applied so quickly, especially with Tech 1 cruisers being as fast as they are these days. You can get around the field, you can apply that damage really well.
Yep, and that is match over. The last remaining ships have been blapped, I believe, by CCP Fozzy, deciding to remove them from the field. And that's it. The victory goes to something else and a good match.
Yeah, absolutely.